I'm really excited. I always love to have guests in my kitchen, and today we've got Ash from Gary's Quality Meats. How are you today?
Really well, thank you.
Really well?
Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm delighted to have you here, especially with all of the ingredients in front of us. What are you going to be making for us?
So, this is my beef pie that I like to make. I've got the beef chuck steak, so it comes from the neck of the beef. If you try to cook it quickly, it can be quite tough, but if you give it that time of day, it'll break down. You get a beautiful flavour.
Excellent.
And super tender. Yeah, it's a great cut.
Excellent.
I love it. So, if you'll pass me the chuck steak.
Yeah, so we'll give you that one. So we can turn it up to what, a medium-high heat? So is this about getting a sear on your beef?
Yeah, just get that browning happening on the outside of the beef. Just add a lot more depth of flavour at the end of the dish, so it's definitely worth browning it nicely in the beginning.
So while our pan is coming to heat, is there any other prep that you would do to your beef?
Yeah, so usually I'll season it beforehand with a bit of sea salt and black pepper. Thank you. So I'll just a bit of black pepper. So I'll just give that a bit of a mix.
So it was sort of about a teaspoon of salt, about half a teaspoon of pepper, but I guess do it to your liking?
I tend to just eyeball it.
Yeah.
But yeah, roughly that, yes. There we go, got a good sizzle.
So with this amount of beef, would you do it in batches to get that sear?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, depending on the size of your pan at home, I would probably, definitely do it in batches because you don't want it to start to stew in the bottom of the pan.
You work with your dad and your grandfather in the butcher?
Yeah. So it's a family business. We have a great time. Dad's fantastic what he does, and so is my grandfather. I learn everything I know from them.
Incredible.
Yeah,
I love that.
So now we're going to render off the bacon. So I like to turn the pan down for this one because you want to render out a lot of that fat. You don't want to cook it out too quickly.
Okay.
And streaky bacon is my preference, but just a fattier cut of bacon would work well.
That bacon smells amazing. The beef smells good.
It makes me hungry.
I knew that we were going to be torturing ourselves, but it's totally worth it for the end result.
Yep, definitely.
So after our meat is cooked off, what next?
So I fry off the onion and the garlic. Just give it a quick
excellent.
little... And it's important to just soften the onions, not necessarily brown them. So on a low heat, again, takes about 10 minutes or so.
So last little ingredient here.
Yeah, so we're just going to add a little bit of butter and mushroom.
Oh yeah.
Can't go wrong.
Just that small amount of butter has made all of the difference.
Absolutely.
You can see that it's sort of become almost saucy in itself, and the mushrooms have sort of started to absorb it all and collapse at the same time.
Yeah, that looks so good. They're starting to brown. So next step, I would probably add the red wine just to deglaze the pan a little bit. All right, so I suppose now I usually add the tomatoes and the stock. Pop that in there.
So how long would we let it simmer for?
Yeah. So I would usually just pop it on the smallest burner.
Yeah.
Put the lid on it and let it bubble away for 2.5, 3 hours or until tender.
Okay,
really.
so you want that beef to be almost falling apart.
Almost falling apart, but still a little bit chunky because that's nice.
And the sauce would reduce by about half, so it's nice and thick and glossy.
Yeah. Okay. For the last half hour, I usually take the lid off and let it bubble away, and it's more of a judgment. Yeah, you want it to be quite thick.
Excellent. So if you like a saucier pie, take it out at that point. Oh wow! So the beef has collapsed quite a lot.
Quite a lot, yeah. We've probably left it a little longer than necessary, but I mean that's never a bad thing. Have a look at that.
Because it's all flavour.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we might begin laying the pastry and start filling the pie.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Ash, that looks amazing.
Yeah.
And the third round of torture begins.
Yes, it surely does. So I'm just going to stab the pastry just to release a little bit of heat, so you don't want that pastry cracking.
I'm so excited. So into the oven.
Into the oven, that's it. Yep, final stages.
So that's going into the oven for 35 to 45 minutes at 180?
Yes, that's right, until the pastry starts to brown on top.
The torture is over.
Sure is, yeah.
Nearly time to dive into this pie. Let's cut into
Here
it.
we go. All right. So, oh yes.
Nice, crunchy, crispy top. And that puff pastry has just got so much puff. It was really gorgeous watching it in the oven.
Yes, it sure was.
As if the aroma wasn't enough torture, I went and had a look. Oh yeah.
Woohoo.
That looks incredible. Oh wow. Yum.
Looks good, smells good.
Just gonna turn that around just so that we can, oh.
Yum.
This is something you would have to be going back for seconds for.
Definitely.
It smells and looks incredible. Thank you so much for being here, Ash.
Thank you for having me.
You can come back anytime.
Love it.